Hi, Andy XL back with another NFXL podcast, and it's time to look at the Sunday games on Divisional week after we know that the two one seeds have won on a Saturday night. So it's who's going to hit the road to face them in the Conference Championship games. And let's start with the Houston Texans at the New England Patriots, which is the first game on Sunday. So is anybody up for a road trip to Denver? You can bet these two squads will take Denver over Cancun right now. But who is going to head there to meet the Broncos in the AFC Championship game? This is the number two seed Patriots, and they're a team who do not have any glaring weaknesses, but their O-line and pass defense may be the areas they are less effective at. For the Texans, we all know by now they have a stellar defense, but their own O-line, running the ball, and red zone efficiency have been weaknesses for them. So let's go through the matchups and see who might come out on top. Starting with the Patriots passing game versus the Texans pass D. This is very good on good in that the fourth ranked Pats pass offense meets the Texans fifth ranked pass defense. Although I feel the Pats are flattered by that ranking due to a relatively soft regular season schedule. And this is a general theme for New England. Can't knock them. They've won the games. They've done everything that they were supposed to do. But they've only played three teams that finished the regular season with a plus 500 record and were 1-2 in those games against the Bills twice and the Steelers. So they were the teams that the three games that they played, and they were at a losing record in those games. Drake May, though, has had a season worthy of MVP candidature for sure, but he may have to take it to another level even than that against this Texans pass defense. On the front end, the Texans have sacked opposing quarterbacks 47 times this season. Defensive ends Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter accounting for 27 of those. So the battle between them and the Pats offensive tackles is a big key to this game. Coincidentally, May has been sacked 47 times this season, the same number as the Texans have sacks. So May is likely to feel the heat throughout this game. And if those offensive tackles can't stand up to Anderson and Hunter, he could be in trouble. On the back end, the Texans have made 19 picks this season, 17 coming from their secondary. May has thrown just 8 picks, though, this season and needs to maintain that excellent record despite the likely pressures and threat from that secondary for the Pats to come out on top here. Any picks could swing this game towards the Texans' side. The Texans have allowed the sixth fewest passing yards and joint seventh fewest touchdowns this season. In doing so, they have been the sixth toughest opponents for wide receivers to face, although they have not been as good against tight ends, where they are 13th toughest team to face. They do allow yardage, but not touchdowns, only two this season, to receiving backs. So May to Hunter Henry and his receiving backs as receivers could be the areas that Pats look to utilise here. And that would get the ball out of May's hands quickly to reduce exposure to the Texans' elite pass rushers at the same time. This is certainly going to be one of the vital matchups in this game, and the Texans need to win this matchup. A tie would, in fact, be a win for the Pats in this area. Patriots run offense versus the Texans run D. Good on good again here as it is fifth ranked run offense versus fifth ranked run defense. But if the Pats are to prevail, this may be an area they need to win at. The Texans have given up the fourth fewest rushing yards to running backs this season, but are mid-ranked for allowing them to score touchdowns, conceding 12 of those this season. This is a different picture for rushing quarterbacks, where they do concede yards to them, but have only allowed one quarterback to enter their end zone this season, and that was when they fielded their backups in Week 18 against the Colts, allowing Riley Leonard to score. So, in fact, this unit has not allowed a single rushing touchdown to a quarterback this season, the starting unit that being. May need to make a big scramble or two to get yardage as the running backs will face tough sledding yardage-wise, but if they can get into scoring position, Ramondre Stevenson and or Trevayon Henderson may well be able to punch it in, and could be another big thing in this game. So the Patriots get touchdowns could be huge. The Texans pass offense versus the Patriots pass defense. Well, let's have a look at the Texans now on offense. They have the 16th ranked pass offense going up against the Pats pass defense that ranks fourth for the season. And to swing this one further in the Pats' favour, Nico Collins is out of this game with a concussion. The Pats have just 10 picks this season, 7 of those coming from the inside linebacker and safety positions, the other 3 from Marcus Jones at cornerback. So CJ Stroud needs to take care over the middle and be wary of Jones. The Pats have a modest 34 sacks for the season, and with sack leader Harold Landry battling a knee injury, his availability and effectiveness could be another key here. The Texans' O-line has only allowed their quarterback to be sacked 31 times this season. If they can keep Stroud from being pressured, that will help him operate and lessen the major blow of losing Collins. The Texans have only managed 24 receiving touchdowns this season. Collins had 6 of those, so in effect the rest have combined for just 1 a game, 18 from 17 games. Rookie Jaden Higgins has 6 to his name, but he may see plenty of Christian Gonzalez in particular and maybe Carlton Davis too, covering him in this game, which may mean the Pats need to look elsewhere for passing scores here, which is a concern considering the lack of scores they've made this season, and red zone efficiency has been a major issue for them. The Texans' run offense versus the Pats' run defense. The modest 24th ranked Texans run offense come up against the stout 5th ranked Pats pass defense here. The Pats have allowed the 5th fewest rushing yards to opposing running backs and just 8 touchdowns to them all season. Without Joe Mixon, Woody Marks has taken over as a running back 1 for the Texans, but he and his running back pals have just 6 rushing touchdowns for the season. It therefore seems unlikely this is going to be a pass to success for the Texans. And let's not neglect special teams. The Patriots have attempted 32 field goals and 55 extra points this season, but the Texans have just tried 18 extra points but 48 field goals. So kicking is far more important to the Texans than it is the Pats. And Kaimi Fairbairn has been superb for them this season, making 44 of those 48 field goal tries and being perfect inside of 50 yards and also for extra points. Rookie Andres Barragales has missed 5 field goals from 30 to 50 yards and 2 extra points for the Pats. If this comes down to the kickers, there is a clear advantage here for the Texans. The 2 punters have almost identical stat lines for the season, so no clear edge in what could be a crucial area of this game in terms of winning the field position battle. So let's not forget the punters. They could play a key role here. In terms of kick returners, Jalen Noel has the better yardage numbers for the Texans, but the Marcus Jones name comes up again here as he has taken 2 to the house for the Pats. So to sum it all up, the Pats need to, and keys to the game, the Pats need to get the ball out of Drake Maker's hands quickly to Hunter Henry and the receiving backs to get their passing game going here, and that looks to be their best route to touchdowns too, which they need here to put the pressure on the Texans to match them in that regard. The Pats' offensive tackles need to keep those Texans' elite pass rushers at bay as much as possible. New England need to get yardage via the run game to control time of possession and wear that Texans D line down. Another key, Andres Borregales cannot afford to miss field goals from within 50 and also has to make his extra points. The Texans have to find ways into the end zone, probably via the passing game, as field goals may not be enough for them to win this one. If they cannot do so, the D will need to create multiple turnovers to give them field position. Basically, Kaimi Fairbairn has to kick everything that he attempts. The Texans need to get field position from kick returns and avoid allowing any special team scores from the Pats. Now, all of that, they're the keys. This is what it comes down to. The Pats are 1-2 against teams with winning records. The Texans are 5-4, so are more battle proven. This is going to be a really close call. And despite all that I've said about the Texans, my instinct, and it is just a gut feel, is that the Patriots may just do enough to book their flight to Denver as the Texans' red zone issues finally prove to be too big a hurdle for them to get over. So in a lowest scoring, really tight game, I'm going to take the Patriots to win it by 20 points to 19. So moving on to the Rams at the Bears, which is the second game. The Houdini Bears, who refuse to go into winter hibernation, come up against the Rams as they seek to find their way to another win that defies logic. This could be a real shootout, but who dodges the bullets and heads to Seattle for the NFC Championship game? So let's do the same again here, compare the units. Bears pass offense versus the Rams pass defense. The Bears ranked 10th for pass offense, and Caleb Williams has thrown just 7 picks this season, a league best stat. The Rams ranked 19th against the pass and are 6th for getting picks, though. The Bears' O-line has protected Williams very well too. He has only been sacked 24 times this season. The Rams' pass rush has sacked opposing quarterbacks 47 times this season, indicating that unless the Rams' pass rush is able to get to Williams plenty in this game, the Bears are likely to pass the ball well. The Rams have been the 11th best team for opposing wide receivers to face, are 18th best to face for tight ends, and have allowed the 5th most yardage to receiving running backs. Williams to his wide receivers and running backs could be the best route to success for the Bears in this game, although Rome Odunze struggling to make this game and overcome a stress fracture in his foot will not help the Bears' cause here. The Bears' run offense versus the Rams' run defense. The Bears has a 6th-ranked run offense and comes up against the 6th-ranked Rams defense, but the Rams' run D ranks first in the league for not allowing rushing touchdowns. The Rams have conceded just 7 rushing touchdowns to running backs and quarterbacks this season, meaning the Bears may need to get their big scores via the passing game. If they can get in on the ground, that would be a potential deciding factor in this game. The Rams pass offense versus the Bears pass defense. Now, this really may be the key area to this game. The number 1 ranked Rams pass offense versus the Bears pass defense that is ranked 25th overall, but leads the league in getting picks. The outcome of this game may simply come down to how many picks the Bears can get from Matt Stafford, if any. If they do generate picks, the Rams are going to have a big day. If they do not generate picks, the Rams are going to have a big day passing the ball for sure. The Bears have had 35 sacks this season. The Rams have allowed just 23. So the Bears' pass rush seems unlikely to get Stafford under a lot of pressure in this game. The Bears are the 3rd easiest team on wide receivers this season and are not great against receiving backs in the red zone either, but are better against tight ends. The Rams have 29 receiving touchdowns from wide receivers and running backs this season and 17 from tight ends. So getting their tight ends in the end zone, can they do that against the Bears, who have been pretty good against them? If the Bears can stand up against the Rams' variety of tight ends, Stafford will need Puka Nacua and Davante Adams to dominate the Bears' secondary to get the scores needed to win this one. The Rams' run offense versus the Bears' run defense. The Rams have the 10th ranked run offense to match up against the 20th ranked Bears' run defense. Therefore, Kyren Williams and Blake Corum seem set to have a big role in this game. If they can churn out yards on the ground, it takes the onus off of Stafford to an extent and also allows them to control time of possession, wear down the Bears' defense, and give their own D time to rest. Let's have a look at special teams. Harrison Mevis has been really good for the Rams since taking over at kicker, missing just 1 field goal and making all of his extra points. Cairo Santos has not been as good for the Bears, missing 5 field goals, 3 from under 50 yards. So if there's a crucial kick in the game, as long as Mevis stands up to the postseason pressure, there's an advantage there. Torrey Taylor has been slightly better than Ethan Evans, giving the Bears a small edge in terms of punting, but we may not see these guys much in this game in what could be a high-scoring shootout. No significant edge for either team in kick returning. Neither has taken one to the house this season. So these are what I see as the keys to this game. The Bears and Caleb Williams need to deliver 3 or more passing touchdowns. If the Bears can get any touchdowns on the ground, that could be huge. The Bears' only way of stopping Stafford is by picking him off, so they have to. The Rams need both the pass and run game to contribute to control time of possession. The run game may be crucial in that regard late in the game, something the Packers didn't do last week. The Rams need to be able to do that in this game if they're in front. Stafford needs to find his tight ends and avoid multiple picks. The Rams pass rush needs to disrupt Williams. The Rams D needs to keep the Bears running backs out of the end zone. All of those keys put together, I have to think the Rams have too much firepower for the Bears and will surely be more savvy in protecting the lead than the Packers were last week, should they get out in front. So I'm going to take the Rams to win and set up an NFC West showdown with the Seahawks for the conference title. In a high-scoring game, I see the Rams winning it by 34-24. So enjoy today's games, and I'll come back with an update after the action's taken place. See you soon.